that fans they're voting with their money, their pocketbooks right now, that they're not entertained by this brand of basketball. Sophie Cunningham, guys, she was the light of our life tonight. She went absolutely berserk, particularly in the fourth quarter. I do want to bring this up. When Brittany Sykes got...
No one saw this coming. Not the coaches, not the critics, and certainly not the people who spent months claiming that Caitlin Clark's style of play could never succeed in the WNBA. Yet right now, something is happening that has completely changed the conversation. The Indiana Fever are winning, and Caitlin Clark has delivered another outstanding performance. She was recently named Player of the Week, and suddenly, many of the voices that once questioned everything have gone remarkably quiet. But that's not even the most surprising part. What happened after the game is what truly caught everyone's attention. While fans were celebrating another Fever victory, social media began noticing something unusual, something that quickly shifted the entire discussion. For months, the debate remained the same. Was Caitlin Clark the problem, or was the system around her holding her back? No one could agree. Every game sparked a new argument. Every argument created another headline, and every headline fueled yet another controversy. Then came the performance that nobody could ignore.
Basketball in her hand, the best player in the league, the best point guard in the league, hands down. It ain't close. It ain't nothing to talk about. Caitlin Clark with another double-double, 21 points, 14 assists, as she did her part to secure a victory for the Indiana Fever. She also contributed 5 rebounds, but the shooting was awful. And I'm going to be real, Caitlin, mama, I need you to make shots. I need you to make shots. Caitlin Clark didn't hit her first 3 until late in the fourth quarter. She was 1 of 8 from 3, 5 of 15 from the floor. Okay, off shooting nights happen. She shot nearly 50% last week, nearly 40% from 3, while she became Player of the Week. But hey man, we got high expectations. I need Cece to make shots, but this was still a quality.
Caitlin Clark finished with 21 points, 14 assists, and 5 rebounds, doing her part to help the Indiana Fever secure another victory. While her overall impact on the game was undeniable, her shooting performance left plenty of room for improvement. She didn't make her first three-pointer until late in the fourth quarter, finishing just 1 of 8 from beyond the arc and 5 of 15 from the field. Of course, every player has an off-shooting night, especially considering she had been nearly 50% from the floor and close to 40% from three-point range the previous week, while earning Player of the Week honors. Even so, expectations for Clark remain incredibly high. Despite the shooting struggles, this was still a quality performance. Her 21 points and 14 assists showcased complete control of the game, the kind of performance that forces people to stop talking and start paying attention. This wasn't just another win or another impressive stat line. It was evidence that the version of the Fever fans had been waiting to see might finally be emerging. Supporters believe that's exactly why emotions are running so high right now. The moment Clark began playing with confidence and freedom, the entire offense looked different. The pace improved, the confidence grew, and the results followed. Suddenly, the same team that appeared stuck just weeks ago started looking like a genuine threat, and a very dangerous one at that.
Game the other day, shooting the lights out from 3. She shot the lights out from 3 in this game, and this is how last year started, when Sophie Cunningham went on about a 6-week tear that absolutely contributed to this team somehow, some way making the playoffs last year. It was Sophie Cunningham. If you go back and look at her three-point shooting last year for about 6 weeks, she went bananas. Well, it looks like we're starting that all over again. By the way, let's just keep it real. I brought it up during this game. I posted it early on. Until Sophie went absolutely bananas with three-pointers tonight, this crowd was dead. This crowd was not fired up in the least bit. Here we go. Caitlin Clark right here, splitting the D. Let's check it out. Let's check it out right there to Monique Billings. And look, Caitlin Clark had 14 assists tonight. You know, at one point I thought Caitlin Clark had a chance to get 20 assists tonight. No kidding. Can we have an uncomfortable conversation about the fact that it's time for Sophie to start over Lexi Hull? There, I said it. I said it out loud. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but I said it. Sophie Cunningham. Let's check it. Let's check it right here. Caitlin out to Sophie. One side step. Boom. Knocked it down. Beautiful. And she would just keep knocking them down. Let's go.
On the layup. Fever.
Caitlin again to Sophie. Boom. Knocked it down again. Sophie was on a tear. And
That's where Sophie Cunningham entered the story. Because every winning streak builds confidence, and confidence has a way of changing everything. Fans quickly began talking about the energy surrounding the team, the growing chemistry, the trust among players, and the belief that the Indiana Fever might finally be becoming the team everyone expected before the season began. At the same time, another name started gaining attention, Amber Cox. Success always attracts attention from executives, who notice momentum and recognize when a single player can help transform the direction of a franchise. As a result, fans became increasingly focused on one question: how much of this success is actually connected to Caitlin Clark's style of basketball? According to many supporters, the answer is becoming more difficult to ignore with each game. The Fever are winning, the offense is thriving, the crowd is fully engaged, and the team's overall confidence continues to grow. What once seemed like potential is now starting to look like reality, and many believe Clark's influence is a major reason behind the dramatic shift.
And not who made the damn half-court shot, because this Indiana Fever team misses entirely too many layups. Caitlin Clark could have had 20 assists today if people made layups. Aaliyah Boston smoked the layup. Lexi Hall smoked the layup. Sophie Cunningham smoking layups. I mean, people smoking layups. Michaela Timpson smoking layups. Like, the layup thing is getting very, very ridiculous. Straight up, it's getting very, very ridiculous, man. We got to get into Sophie Cunningham. Blonde Bomber. Sophie Cunningham is still on fire from Connecticut, guys. Sophie Cunningham got on a heater in Connecticut, went on an 11-0 run to close out the Connecticut Sun, and she stayed on that heater today. Off the bench in 24 minutes, Sophie Cunningham was 8 of 11 from the floor, 6 of 7 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. She had 6 rebounds and poured in 24 points off the bench. Sophie was on fire. She didn't miss her first shot until like damn near fourth quarter. Sophie Cunningham was on fire. Defense on point, making every three damn near. Sophie Cunningham is definitely providing that spark, and that punch off the bench offensively that the Indiana Fever need. Because let's be real, Raven Johnson can't score off the bench. Maisha Hines-Allen isn't a scorer off the bench. Michaela Timpson can't score off the bench. We don't have no bench scoring. So it's like, if Sophie Cunningham does not score for us off the bench, we're not getting points off the bench, guys. That's just the reality of the situation with this Indiana Fever roster. Now, Maisha Hines-Allen went out. She got hit in the face. Blood was everywhere. I thought the refs was absolute garbage. They was dog crap in this game. Maisha Hines-Allen gets hit in the face. Blood everywhere. No whistle. Caitlin Clark getting hit. First 3 drives of the game. No fouls, no whistles. The refs, I thought y'all was supposed to be better. I thought y'all was supposed to call more fouls, bro. This is kind of crazy. The refs was trash. Caitlin Clark is getting fouled nonstop. You know, Caitlin Clark, you got to make your free throws. You missed 4 free throws today. I don't know what happened. But that does not need to happen again. But the Indiana Fever took care of business. Marina Mabry did try to go on a flurry in the second and third quarter. I think she had 11 in the second quarter. She finished the game with
The numbers are improving, and the conversation surrounding the Indiana Fever is changing rapidly. The most concerning part for opposing teams is that many fans believe this is only the beginning. If Caitlin Clark is delivering performances like these now, what happens when the team's chemistry becomes even stronger? What happens when the offense operates more smoothly and efficiently? What happens when the confidence level continues to rise? Those are the questions that have rival fan bases paying close attention. The focus is no longer on what Clark is accomplishing today, but on what she could achieve next. If this version of the Fever is truly emerging, the rest of the league may have a serious problem on its hands. According to many supporters, that's exactly why so many people seem surprised. It's not simply that Caitlin Clark is succeeding. It's that she's succeeding in the very way critics insisted she couldn't. And that is what makes this story impossible to ignore.